Over the past week, I've been receiving a ton of YouTube comments and Instagram direct messages from my fellow explorers asking, Chris, what's it like in California right now? Or Chris, what's it going to be like in California when I come in April? So those questions I intend to answer in this video by giving you an update on the California reopening status. And so just to set the mood, the governor of California recently said that California isn't going to open crawling back, we are going to roar back, per the governor. So we're seeing a lot of trends to reopen in California, though compared to some other states, maybe like Texas, California is a little bit more on a crawl phase instead of the run that a lot of other states are. Now, first, there's currently no stay-at-home order in California, and so there's nothing keeping people at home. The state is open, businesses are open, just not all of them. So let's talk about what recently reopened. Just in the past week, indoor dining has opened in about half of California. Most of the counties in Northern California around the San Francisco Bay Area have opened indoor dining, movie theaters, and gyms. They just reopened here in Southern California today in Los Angeles and Orange County, home to Disneyland. San Diego is expected to open indoor operations pretty soon. Now, those indoor limits, they limit restaurants inside at 25% capacity. And so what I'm actually seeing at a lot of restaurants that I go to is many of them are still actually staying closed for indoor dining because 25% still isn't enough. So like when I go to In-N-Out Burger, there's still no seating inside. There are some restaurants that are beginning to seat people inside, but some restaurants are actually still remaining closed. They're waiting for 50% before they really reopen. Bars that don't serve food are still closed under this newest red tier, but breweries and distilleries can now open outdoor operations. Now, in that 50% of the state that's moved into the red tier, shopping capacity is also increasing. It's going from 25% to 50% capacity. I think this will be really good because at a lot of shopping centers and even places like TJ Maxx, I've seen a lot of lines in front of those stores at 25% capacity. I think 50% capacity will bring a lot more people into those stores and alleviate the lines that we've been seeing to get into places. Okay, so that's what's happening right now. Now let's talk about some of the new rules that are going into effect on April 1st. I think these are some of the things that people are most excited for on a reopening trend. That is, theme parks may reopen starting on April 1st, including their rides, and also sporting events and concerts can resume as well. Now, the theme parks will have a restriction that they won't be able to allow out-of-state visitors, so it'll only be for in-state visitors. So now, speaking of theme parks, you might be wondering, okay, Chris, so when are the theme parks going to be opening? I really want to go to Disneyland. Well, Disneyland has not announced a reopening date as of yet. Knott's Berry Farm, though, has announced that they're targeting May for their reopening date, so it seemed reasonable that Disneyland might reopen with rides at that point in time. Now, most of the theme parks are currently open for some form of food festival. Knott's Berry Farm has a boysenberry festival that we were just at last weekend. Disneyland is starting up a food festival called A Touch of Disney. That's starting this Thursday. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do so you'll stay tuned for that video. We will be there on opening day, courtesy of a fellow explorer, so we're really looking forward to that. So now, although theme parks won't allow out-of-state visitors, are out-of-state visitors welcome into California? Well, you can book a hotel as an out-of-state visitor. That's not a problem. It used to be around December, but it's currently not a problem. You can book plane tickets. You can drive in, though the California COVID website currently says that leisure travel is discouraged into California, and that if you are coming into California, they recommend a 10-day quarantine. Is this enforced? Is anybody checking up on you? I've not heard any reports of that. I would expect this quarantine recommendation to be lifted as we get closer to the summer travel season, particularly as we get to May. I would see that going away. But currently, the state of California is recommending that people avoid leisure travel into California. They're also recommending that Californians stay within 120 miles of their home. And then finally, everybody wants to know, what about masks? Do you have to wear a mask everywhere you go in California? Pretty much you have to wear a mask anytime you're out in public. Compliance is different in different places. If you're at a theme park, it's near 100% mask compliance. If you are out at the beach, like Huntington Beach, it's maybe 10%. So some places are definitely more masked up than others. But if you plan to go into a store, go into a restaurant, any of those things, plan to bring your mask and wear it. So now if you're okay with wearing that mask and you want to visit some of the theme parks, but you're wondering, are they still fun without rides? Well, you can check out some of my videos right here about what they're like. As usual, I won't say goodbye because I'll see you in one of these videos.